On May 26, 2012, motorists in Miami called 911 to report something straight out of a horror film. A man was actively mauling another man in broad daylight, using only his teeth in a prolonged, brutal assault. The sheer shock factor of the violence was amplified by the setting. This happened right on the MacArthur Causeway, a sun-drenched, heavily trafficked bridge connecting the mainland to Miami Beach. There were no dark alleys involved. When police rushed to the scene, standard deterrence completely failed. The assailant ignored shouted commands, and physical intervention proved useless. It ultimately took multiple gunshots from a responding officer to stop the attack, as the assailant appeared terrifiedly indifferent to physical pain. Standard crimes have recognizable motives: robbery, revenge, or a sudden argument. This had none. A man acting with intense, animalistic aggression against a stranger left a massive gap in logic for a terrified public. That gap in logic was immediately filled by broadcasting antennas. Local news crews dispatched vans to the shoreline, beaming out frantic speculation before detectives even had a chance to string up the crime scene tape. Within hours, internet forums grabbed those scattered reports, pieced together the bizarre details of cannibalism and pain resistance, and quickly crowned the event America's first zombie attack. The zombie label effectively provided a recognizable framework for a level of violence that simply didn't fit into the standard narrative of street crime. In the absence of official facts, a supernatural explanation became the most popular way to categorize incomprehensible behavior. To understand the true horror of that afternoon, we have to tune out the viral headlines. We need to open the cold, hard clinical file. The most prominent internet theory didn't actually require a virus. It required chemistry. The media quickly decided the attacker was fueled by a synthetic designer drug known as bath salts. In the spring of 2012, bath salts were the center of a massive media panic. News reports claimed these cheap, over-the-counter crystals gave users superhuman strength, sky-high body temperatures, and instant, hyper-violent psychosis. The narrative was so persuasive that even local law enforcement bought in. Police officials gave early interviews to the press, suggesting that this exact designer drug was the likely culprit. Digital rumors travel far faster than forensic science. A nationwide panic about a cannibalistic drug epidemic took root days before the medical examiner had even touched a microscope. This chart tracks the rigorous official toxicology screening performed by the Miami-Dade medical examiner. They tested for a wide spectrum of street narcotics, prescription pills, and synthetic compounds. The official results completely defied the public narrative. As the tests came back, the indicators for bath salts, synthetic amphetamines, and every other rumored designer drug flipped to negative. The system was completely clean. The lab isolated exactly one substance, a routine, trace amount of marijuana. Clinically speaking, this is entirely insufficient to trigger an episode of extreme, unprovoked violence. What the medical data points to instead is a severe psychotic break. When a person experiences a catastrophic, untreated mental health crisis, their brain chemistry shifts, driving the body into a state of hyperarousal. These extreme physiological states can induce severe hyperthermia, unresponsiveness to verbal commands, and a physical immunity to pain, behaviors the public associated with zombies. The event on the causeway involved a man suffering from a profound biological crisis, a medical emergency that went fatally untreated. The toxicology report was released to the public, clearing up the chemical mystery. So why did so many people still cling to the supernatural bath salts narrative? Part of the answer lies in the cultural landscape of 2012. Pop culture was absolutely saturated with zombie apocalypse media. From hit television shows to blockbuster movies, the concept of a sudden rage virus was already top of mind. There is a specific psychological defense in this behavior. Blaming a sci-fi virus or a mysterious new street drug allows society to avoid the mundane, tragic reality of severe public mental illness. In 2012, a sensationalist media ecosystem prioritized viral headlines, allowing a psychological rumor to spread with more speed than the actual toxicology report. The Miami zombie incident remains a stark example of the velocity at which modern misinformation can overtake physical evidence. The next time a bizarre, terrifying headline breaks across your feed, try to look past the immediate digital hysteria. Wait for the dust to settle and actively seek out the underlying clinical facts. Thanks for watching The Explainer. If you want more deep dives into the facts behind the fiction, make sure to hit the subscribe button. The reality of human biology is often far more sobering and far more important to understand than the fictional monsters we invent to hide from it.